Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Welcome to another episode of the Tech Preacher Podcast, Tech Friday, y'all. So, look, this episode, I want to give a huge shout out to the tech community for keeping it real. Look, long time ago, when I used to make YouTube videos, if I made a product review and some people in the comments that probably will never buy a product or service, you think as a content creator, why even watch the video? Don't even watch the video. Just keep on scrolling. If you see the title, the thumbnail, and you come in the comments knowing that you're not going to buy it, knowing that you're never, invested in device and stuff like that, but you putting your opinion about the device in the comments, we as content creators, we like, yeah, that kind of sucks, right? But after reevaluating things, after thinking about it, I believe that the tech community have every right to voice their opinion about a product, even though they don't even have it. And the reason why I say that is because that brings me up to the Galaxy S25 Edge, right? This device, came out, and it's coming out at the end of the month of May as of me recording this podcast. And you got your YouTube content creators, they have early access to it, that's making videos about it. And in the comments, the tech community is showing up and showing out. And I believe this is a good thing. Feedback. Samsung need this feedback. And listen, man, at first when I started to read the comments, I'm saying to myself, wow, a lot of people have their displeasement about this device. And I talked about it too, you shouldn't buy it. And because we know everything about the device. Like for months now, we knew all the specs. We knew everything about the device. We knew the two cameras. We knew everything. And then all of a sudden the price leaked. And once the price leaked, people was already forming their opinion. And you have some content creators out there saying that, well, you really can't say anything about a phone that you don't have. Well, I disagree with that. And I'm gonna talk about that in this podcast, right? I disagree with that. And I'm going to tell you why. If you had any Galaxy device, Galaxy S22 Ultra, Galaxy S23 Ultra, Galaxy S24 Ultra, Galaxy S25 Ultra, One UI 7, then you know exactly what the software is going to be, because the Galaxy S25 Edge do not have anything groundbreaking, anything that's dedicated to that device. That means that if you have a Galaxy device with One UI 7, we already know the software. So you don't even have to buy the device to form an opinion about the software. We know that it has a 120 hertz display. We know that it has One UI 7 on it. We know everything about the software. So the software is the same as the S24, the S23, and the S25. So we know about the software. As far as the thinness of the device, I mean, listen, by the time you put a case on it, it's going to be as thick as a Galaxy S25 Ultra. Or Galaxy S25 Plus. So the thinness is, that's kind of muted, because 90% of most people put cases on their device. So the other 10% that might rock it, without caseless, I mean, that's all on them. But most people will protect the device with screen protectors and cases. So guess what? That's none and void. The thinness really doesn't matter. And you know what? Shout out to the community. You know why? Because the community giving Samsung the fucking middle finger right now. And they deserve all the feedback that they get. And you know what? In order for Samsung, Apple, and all these other companies to fix it, they need this feedback. They need a good kick in the ass. They need real commenters, real people in the comments, people giving feedback, people giving posts, people doing all this stuff to give it to Samsung. Because guess what? If you listen to us, some of us content creators, and I've done this in the past, I've changed my mind on this. If you listen to what content creators tell viewers, if you're not going to buy this phone, this video is not for you. It's not about that. It's about the feedback. Because if you running One UI 7, you already know the software and everything else in between. So what's so bad about this phone? Well, what's so good about it? I mean, when you look at it, right? What's so good about it? I mean, it's a device that costs $1,100, right? It's a device that costs $1,100, and it's not giving you. What are they giving you? Think about this. You could get a Galaxy S25 Ultra for about the same price, brand new. All right. And that's a better phone. S24 Ultra, a better phone. Hell, I would even say S23 Ultra for $600-700 is a way better device than this, because you go get software updates for the next couple of years. So what's so bad about this device? Well, you got a couple of problems. First, the price. Okay, $1,100, $1,200+ prospectively. What you're looking at right now is pre-order prices, but regular prices is $1,200 for the 512. Okay, so that's one problem. The second problem is that you're not what you're getting here, right? Slim device, okay, no big deal. The build quality is none and void, because by the time you put a case on it, it's gonna be as thick as an S25 or S24. So that's, unless you get a flimsy, case that it's not going to protect your device too much, but that's an option. The third problem, battery life. Now, I heard one YouTube content creator say this, and listen, I don't like to criticize my brothers and sisters in the tech community, because, everybody run their YouTube channel differently. I'm going to say this. I heard some content creators say, hey, you never know. You might get all-day battery life out of the S25 Edge. And I'm saying to myself, hold on, wait a minute, time out. I got the Galaxy S25 Ultra, and that's a 5,000 milliamp battery. And I might get six and a half screen on time. Now, everybody uses it different. I use my device the way it's intended to be. I got my brightness at about 70-80%. I have 120 hertz is on. I'm using my device regular, making phone calls, text messages, going on social media, doing what I need to do, taking photos and videos, using the S Pen, blah, 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 blah. I get about 6 hours of screen on time. That's 5,000 milliamp. So you telling me that if I'm getting 6.5 hours of screen on time on the S25 Ultra with a 5,000 milliamp battery, how in the hell am I going to get all day battery life on a 3,900 milliamp battery on this device? And I heard some people say, well, maybe Samsung might optimize the software. You know what I call that? Bullshit. You can't optimize screen on time when your brightness level at 70-80%, and you got your you got Bluetooth on, you got the 120 hertz on, you got the 8th gen elite processor in this thing, man. Come on now. So if I'm getting 6 hours of screen on time with this device, you may get 3.5 hours of screen on time on this thing. I say cut it in half. So what device in the past 10 years gave you 3.5 hours of screen on time, unless it was a budget phone, a crackhead phone, a phone that was way back in 2004. Those type of devices gave you 3 hours of screen time. Matter of fact, one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel, right, is because I used to watch a lot of content. on YouTube, and YouTube content creators was saying that the iPhone 3G was giving you all day battery life. When I started my YouTube channel, I bought all the iPhones, right? And when I bought the iPhone, I got the first generation iPhone, I got the second generation iPhone. And when I bought both of those phones and I listened to these YouTube content creators talk about they get all day battery life on them, I kid you not, you was getting about 2 hours of screen on time on them devices. That's why they was called wall hugger phones, right? You had that phone at 7 a.m. You took that doggone phone off the charger at 7 a.m. in the morning. About 10 o'clock, you back on the charger. So then, yeah, those phones had, 1,500 milliamp, 2,000 milliamp batteries in them or whatever. But we talking 39. I have over 220 phones, okay? And the phone I might have that has a 3,900 milliamp battery in it is maybe a phone in 2005. I don't know, maybe the second generation Google phone. Maybe a blue phone I might have over there might have a 3,900 milliamp battery. A couple of flip phones might have, 3,900 milliamp batteries in it. But God, the battery life is one of the things that will ultimately piss you off. Think about this. You leave your house you take the device off a charger at 7 a.m., right? By 12 o'clock, you back on the charger. By 12 o'clock. And then you take it off then here's the kicker, right? And here's the kicker. Let's go to the specs here. Let me show you something. Here's a kicker, right? 25-watt charger. That means you're going to get 3.5 hours screen on time with about 45 minutes of charging to hour charging. That means from 7 a.m. to 12, you back on the charger. You're going to take the thing off the charger at 12:45, 1 o'clock, and you back on the charger at 5, at 6. So that's a 2-charge type device with 25-watt charger, 45 minutes to an hour. That will piss off most people. Now, you could say, well, in 2025, phones need to have battery life into the 7s and the 8-hour screen on time. You're not getting that with this device. So that ultimately is disastrous. And the price. Now, listen, man, I know what a lot of people say, well, easy, the price is what it is and stuff like that. For a mid-ranger, and shout out to the community that's giving Samsung 2 middle fingers, because at $1,100 and at $1,200, this is a mid-range device, true and true. And you might say, so mid-range? What you mean a mid-range? I mean, they have top-of-the-line specs, right? Okay, that got top-of-the-line specs, but so is this phone. And look at this price. OnePlus 13T, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, 8 Gen. We have the 8 Elite processor in it. We got dual cameras and everything else in between. But you know what the difference is? This is a over 6,000 milliamp battery with 80-watt charging. And for $600, that's the difference. That's the issue. That's the difference, right? And this device is a flagship killer. The OnePlus 13 Aura with a high battery life is better than this thing, right? OnePlus 13T is definitely way miles ahead of a better value than this device. So, okay, let's get into something else, right? That kind of ruffle a lot of people's feathers, right? Trade-in value. Think about it. Let me show you this. Right? Here we go. The Galaxy Z Fold 6. Samsung went up on the price. It was $17.99. They went up on the price 3 months before the Galaxy Z Fold 7 come out. So Samsung, they raised the price. The 512 is over $2,000. The 256 is $1,900. That's what you're paying for today with the Z Fold 6. But here's what Samsung's saying. If you want to take your $1,900 Z Fold 6 and trade in, I don't know who would do that, would trade in to get an Edge device. This how much Samsung say the fair market value of your Galaxy Z Fold 6 is. $630. That's how much trading credit that you're going to get. That means that your $1,900 device fair market value, according to Samsung, is $630. That means you got to cough up hundreds of dollars out of pocket to get the Samsung just to get this Edge phone. Listen, this is crazy. No. You don't understand what I'm saying here. Samsung is selling the Z Fold 6 right now for $1,900. But if you took that $1,900 device and traded in to get a Galaxy S25 Edge, you're only getting fair market value of that device is $630. So that means you coming out of your pocket with almost $600 because you got to pay tax. I mean, it's $1,100 plus tax. So you go pay $1,200 and some change for this phone at the retail now. That means you go come out of your pocket with $600 plus here. So your $1,900 plus $600, that means you didn't come out of your pocket with a total value of what, 25 and some change? Total value, right? So fair market value is $630 for this device. But it gets even worse for Samsung. And this is why the community, the tech community, is voicing their opinion. It gets even worse. Samsung is selling the Z Fold 5. The Z Fold 5 for $1,900. I had to take my glasses off. I had to double take. I'm looking at my screen. This phone doesn't look so bad after all, don't it? And listen, man, I one of the biggest things that I noticed here with Samsung and what they do, right? They play with people's emotions by coming out with this advertisement, this groundbreaking advertisement, and then once the content creators start sweetening the pot by talking so gracious about this device, this phone is in between the Galaxy S25 Ultra and the Galaxy S25 Plus. It's in between that. Now, we ain't talking about the S25. Now, that's scratched off. But we talk about the Plus. It's between the Plus and the Ultra, and it goes right in the middle. Right in the middle. And I'm saying to myself, now, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. In the middle, with less features and functionality, less battery life, and less cameras, right? Now, a lot of people might say, well, what about the 200 megapixel camera on this thing? Well, I also did some research, and for what I understand, it's not the same 200 megapixel camera on this thing. For what I understand, that this device doesn't have the same 200 megapixel camera that's on the S25. It's not the same camera. Somebody made a video about it, broke it down, and said, this is not the same camera. The camera specs are different. It's not the same 200 megapixel camera that's on the S25. So what 200 megapixel camera we got? The S23 Ultra maybe? Maybe the S24 Ultra, but it's not the S25 Ultra. So a lot of people assume that you got the S25 Ultra camera system in this thing, but when you break it down, look at the camera specs. It's not the same. I saw a video about it. Somebody broke it down, and when I looked at something on it, and I said, "Well, wait a minute. They may be on to something." But it's not the same 200 megapixel camera. Okay, cool. So we got two cameras on the back. We missing the camera. We got 3,900 milliamp battery. We're looking at $1,100+ plus tax. You go pay over $1,200 for it. So what are you getting? And listen, shout out to the community that's voicing their opinion about what they believe in. And I know what a lot of people say, well, you're not going to buy the phone, so why talk about it? Well, it's not the point. The point is for the tech community to give these companies feedback. No fluff, no passes. Y'all need to rip them to shreds. A lot of people say, well, you can't say nothing about the device if you don't have it in hand. Come on now. If you got a Samsung device and it's running One UI 7, you know at least the software. If you have a user device with a 3,900 milliamp battery, you already know the battery life. Listen, by the time you put a case on it, the design of the device is none and void. The camera system, okay. I've been talking about my displeasement about the Galaxy S25 Ultra camera. We just got some updates. Let's see what it do. I got a video coming out very soon. And so at the end of the day, what are we getting for the price? And listen, I want to give a shout out to the tech community. No matter what content creators say, no matter they want you to not be in a comment section destroying this device. Every time they get up or on the video, they talk about, well, it's good, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Listen, man, if the phone was $699, we wouldn't have this conversation. This is a mid-range device. You telling me that this phone is on the same category as this phone? This phone is $600. Now I know Apple coming out with their device. We hearing prices gonna be $700. So Samsung just priced themselves $1,100, and Apple about to come out with their slim device at about $799. Now it's gonna have one camera. It's gonna suck too. We gonna talk about that also. But you tell it, listen, I'm just picking OnePlus, but listen, you go to Gears Top and you could see multiple flagships for $700-800. 8 Elite, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage, outstanding camera. You got Realme, you got Xiaomi devices, you have OnePlus devices, you have all these other devices out there that's cheap, better. Battery life, 6,000 milliamp battery, 5,500 milliamp battery. You ain't for $799, $699, $599. And listen, this device has over a 6,000 milliamp battery. This phone right here with an 80-watt charger. 80 watts, baby. 80 watts. And so when we hear this type of stuff, right, we have to call BS on this, man. We got to call out for the bullshit and keep giving the middle finger and keep on putting your comments in, right? Stop the fuckery. And these companies need to hear it from the end users, from the tech community, that we're not standing for this shit. And I understand, so well, voice your opinion with your pocketbook. No. Feedback. Feedback is the key, right? Tell Samsung, one of the reasons why I haven't bought your Galaxy device, your Edge device, because I'm not paying $1,200, $1,100 for a downgrade. That's how you tell them. You keep saying it. And if they hit you back and say, well, what's the downgrade? They got, AI and 200 megapixel cameras and all that. Okay, so I can get the S23 Ultra and get the same thing and pay half the price. Bing! Give us something that's worth $1,100. This thing ain't worth nothing but $699. Listen, a lot of people say, well, that's the cost of doing business. Bullshit. That's a scam. That ain't what the cost of doing business. This is a fucking one of those type of devices where Samsung just threw out there and try to get content creators that got early access to the device to try to do positive videos about it, to have people buy this phone, and where they could be vastly disappointed at battery life, cameras, and everything else in between. Keep on voicing your opinion, people. This is Eric the Tech Preacher, baby. If you listen to this whole podcast, I hope you motivated. I hope you got energy. Don't never stop voicing your opinion. If you got it, if you don't have it, you're still obligated to give your feedback. And listen, I apologize to the tech community. I apologize to people because I used to say the same shit. And now I'm going back saying this, wait a minute. The tech community is correct. The tech community is right. They need to roast Samsung. They need to give feedback. They need to roast people that, trying to give this phone a pass because they're trying this marketing strategy that they're doing. Listen, Samsung don't work with me anyway, so I don't, it's no big deal. I ain't salty. I ain't mad. I still have Galaxy devices. I still buy them all. So it ain't like I'm salty or nothing. I just want Samsung and Apple to be better, do better. They need to find out why we pissed off, why we don't buy it. That's the whole thing. Why we don't buy it. And that Samsung need to, and Apple and all these other companies that screwing us over, we need to be boisterous about it. And don't listen, the tech preacher, go be boisterous, baby. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna go give you the real. All right, let me get out of here. This is Eric the Tech Preacher, baby. We're gonna see you next week. Same bad place, same bad time, baby. Later.